This is Peak Productivity, the podcast for Asana lovers and productivity nerds. Today, with Bastien Siebman, we talk about 2024 Asana predictions. What will happen this year with Asana? Welcome to Peak Productivity. So, 3, 2, 1, we are on air. Hi, Bastien, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Good, good. Let me start. We never introduce ourselves, and I've seen many podcasters doing a brief introduction. Can you share with our audience who you are, what you do?
Sure. So my name is Bastien. I'm French. I'm an Asana consultant. I have created a company called I Do. You have the name right there. That's an Asana Solutions Partner, and I now have a team with me of about 15 people, and we deploy Asana everywhere. So we work with any type of companies from 2 people all the way to 600, 700 people to deploy Asana. And that was my passion for a long time. And that actually became my job.
Excellent. All around the world.
Yeah, we do have
Don't you?
clients in the US, in Asia, in Australia, South Africa as well. So yeah, we are
Cool, cool.
everywhere.
Well, I'm David. I am a partner at Volcanic, a company that develops and deploys digital solutions. I've been following Bastien for a long time because he's an icon in the Asana community. I've been using Asana since the very first day that Asana was launched. And I think that, as Bastien said, we are lucky enough to make our hobby or our passion, our job, and super happy to help organizations to embrace the Asana way of work. And and also happy to share this 30-minute slot every week to talk about Asana with Bastien. And today, I wanted to talk about a LinkedIn post that Bastien shared. If you don't follow Bastien, I recommend you to follow Bastien on LinkedIn. He made one of these things that usually people do it late December or early January, which is like the New Year predictions. In your case, it was February. And why
Yeah,
you made this list?
the reason I was late is because I put together a list of predictions for the Asana ecosystem, and the reason I was late is because it's actually really hard to predict anything, um, because we don't really have insights into what Asana will do. We have a few hints here and there, so it's a very complex exercise to try to see where something is going, where the industry is going. And maybe we can go through the list. I was helped by my team as well. I couldn't come up with everything by myself. I probably missed a few things. But yeah, we can go through the list if you want.
Sure. First topic, AI.
So the very first thing is there has been a lot of buzz around AI, and every single tool started to include AI within the features, and Asana did exactly the same thing. And I think in 2024, we will start understand the real impact and how we can really use those features beyond the initial hype. And we already looking at those features one by one internally in the I do team, and we try to see if they make sense, how we can teach them, and how we can show them to our clients. And when I say beyond the initial hype, what I mean is that I think people should actually learn how to use Asana and then use AI to get better, and not the other way around. So one thing I'm afraid of is people jumping at AI to create projects and status updates and stuff like this, and not cleaning up and not having the ability to take a step back and say, okay, AI helped me create that project, but it's actually not the best way to manage this project. Maybe I should improve this project. And I really don't want to read AI generated status updates all day. I really want to see something that AI helped build and that was proofread by a human being.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that one of the outcomes of these AI features is that the fact that it makes even more sense to educate users to write the correct title of the task, to write the right description, comments, because if the language is correct, if the information is correct, probably then AI will extract
Yep.
valuable status updates or valuable summaries of the task. Otherwise, if we use poor language, the I mean AI, it's not magic. It will the information will be also poor. So I think that it's another reason to be precise when you describe your task, when you are writing your descriptions.
And this
Topic
is
number,
actually,
yeah,
yeah, I had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago to talk to a couple of dozens product managers at Asana. And I was able to share some of the experience we have from working on the field. And one thing I told them is that they should always be aware, they should always make sure that the features they release are aligned with the best practices. And there are lots of examples of this. But for example, if AI builds a project, and I've seen examples of this, building a project with three different status drop downs, three different columns with different statuses, it's usually not the right way to do this. You usually don't want to put everything in columns with drop downs. It doesn't really align with best practices. The same way, when you create a custom field of type dropdown, Asana is going to put random colors on the options. To me, this doesn't align with best practices. You shouldn't have random colors on options. You should decide on the colors yourself. You shouldn't be pushed to use random colors. So this is another example of what I told them when we had a chance to talk.
yeah, and I think that this connects very well with the second topic, that is regarding new features or improving current features. I think I agree with you that in this second topic of your predictions, that instead of launching new shiny features, we will see Asana improving current features to version 2 or version 1.1, call it how you like. And one of the issues that should be improved is how AI suggests custom fields or rules or whatever. Probably understanding, and if users do their best, if AI learns from best practices, then probably this color issue or this naming issue will be better and better as time goes by.
Yeah, exactly. And this is also something I told the PMs when I had a chance. It was that it's great to release new features, but don't forget that the existing features are being used by millions of people, and they have shortcomings, and there are some gaps in the features. Some things missing, some things don't make sense. So really, if you can spend some time improving the existing features, that's going to help a lot more people than just releasing new stuff all the time. So that prediction is also kind of a wish I have, is that they should spend some time improving everything and fix all those little, they don't really have bugs, but there's a lot of things that feel a bit clunky or don't feel right away. And I hope they can spend some time fixing those instead of releasing new things, even if users usually expect Asana to release always new shiny things. But hopefully we can stay away from this a little bit and improve the existing feature set.
Definitely. Topic number
Yeah, and again,
3.
so before we change, and again, we do not have access to the roadmap. You and I, we do
Good
have a few
disclaimer.
hints, um, but maybe they're going to release something huge that we do not know about. And even if we knew, we couldn't tell anyone. So that's only a guess.
Yeah. I think that being Asana users for more than 10 years gives us some intuition about and looking at the trend in the past few months, we can foresee where the pack will be in the next few months.
Yeah, and
Mm,
I had, and like I said, I had the pleasure of talking to a lot of PMs at the same time, but I also talk to some of them on a regular basis. So I have the pleasure of being able to confront those intuitions with what they actually tell me. And usually it's kind of right. So usually when we feel like Asana's not doing something for a specific reason, that's usually the right reason, at least the one they give us. So yeah, this has been interesting to confront that vision and intuitions with the reality that they share.
yeah, I think it talks really well about a Asana product team that they like to learn from people on the battlefield like yourself. Yeah, that you see many different organizations and different pitfalls when it comes to adopting Asana. It's good that the product team listens to the voice of the customer, and in this specific case, the voice of the partner.
But it's they have their job is so hard because you want to improve the tool, but you don't want to make the tool more complex to use on a daily basis. So it's a very hard line to walk. Asana, and we know that Asana is not the type of tool to have a lot of toggles and settings and stuff like this. It doesn't really work that way. So they have to make sure they can embed new features without disturbing the existing features. So it's a really hard job.
Sure. Topic number 3, Asana skills in your resume. Something that might be valuable for recruiting companies that want to get someone on board to manage their Asana.
Yeah, I
Do you,
think. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, do you think we might see some sort of certification program as there used to be, like the Certified Pro
I do.
program, so people can certify their skills using Asana?
I do. We played with the idea a couple of months ago to create a certification ourselves. We just couldn't find the time. But I do think that Asana is going to create some kind of a certification at one point because we know, you and I, we know that the ambassador program is not really a certification. It's more about teaching you the way Asana teaches Asana. It doesn't certify the skill set of someone. So my prediction is that people will start first, they will emphasize that skill on their resume, but also they will look for companies using Asana if they liked Asana. And we know, you and I, that we will probably never join a company that uses Monday if we have the ability to choose between one that uses Monday and another one that uses Asana. And we will definitely not go to a company not using anything because we can't go back to using emails and Excel. So I think people will start to choose the tech stack, just like a developer would choose the tech stack they want to work on. I think that's going to be quite the same thing with tools like Asana.
Sure, it's definitely a seal of quality that an organization uses this type of systems and protocols and processes and tools, of course. And
Yep.
yeah, we are Asana lovers. Of course, we would always put an organization that uses Asana before one that doesn't. But yeah, I agree, and I also agree that there's a need for a certification program. So
Yep.
those to differentiate, I think the ambassadors program is great because it can help you to detect Asana champions, for instance, within an organization. But from a more technical or solutions perspective, it would be great that Asana has this type of certification program.
Yeah, definitely. And just to go back on the skill set thing, I think it's also interesting to realize that we would probably work. For example, let's say you want to pick a lawyer, a law firm. You're going to probably pick a law firm that uses Asana versus one that doesn't. So to me, that's really it's a testimony to the way they work and the kind of mindset they have. And if they use Asana, I'm pretty confident they are organized and they are pretty good to work with. So maybe when picking up clients and partners, we might also look at the kind of tools they're using.
Yeah, I think that this is like languages. When you are dealing with a potential prospect, and they ask, "Oh, will the training be in English or in Spanish?" Or um, if in our case at Volcanic, we do other engagements beside Asana, and when we talk with a client that wants software development, this is one of the things that we state like a potential strength of the relationship. We work with Asana. We will give you access to Asana. And if the other side knows Asana, it's like, great. We will work with transparency, well organized. And so it's Asana is also a way to better understand each other and have like a common ground to work. So I agree that this is something that would 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 be will be a trend in the next months and years. Topic number 4: the role of partners. You
Um,
foresee that partners will be key in Asana growth in the next months.
so I
Anything that
foresee, and I hope, one thing
wishful
that actually,
thinking or
yeah, no, one thing that struck me a couple of weeks ago, I actually learned that Microsoft was doing 95% of their revenue through partners. And I think that's very interesting to see. Asana has been um, investing on partners quite a lot, and they keep on investing. And I think we, as partners, so you and I, we are both partners. I think we're going to become quite important in that strategy, especially when they try to target specific markets. If you look at France or Spain, for example, you do need people that speak the language, and Asana does have an office in Paris. They do not have offices in Spain. So I think for quite a long time, you're going to be the only uh, team able to deliver anything in Spanish in Spain. And I know that they are targeting some specific markets through partners because it's easier for them to go through partners. And also, a partner can sell licenses, but also do the services. And we know that a client that was actually helped by a partner doesn't churn as much as a client that doesn't get helped by a partner. So we have very strong churn rates. So we know that it's always better to have a partner deliver, and we're trying to educate people within Asana to always go through a partner whenever possible.
yeah, I think that I agree. I think that from a cultural perspective, proximity, working with a partner, it's easier for local company, especially as you said in
Yeah.
markets where Asana doesn't have a strong official presence. And yeah, I think that the granularity of this business, that you can have a very small startup that starts with 5 10 people, but then grows. It's impossible to reach to all these potential targets working without local companies that can help you. So I agree with you on that. My concerns or question mark is how will live together when the company grows and Asana has presence, like for instance in France or in the US, how they can combine partner source deals, partner service served companies. Well, but I think that as long as partners are a driver for this growth, Asana will rely on partners like us. Competition, topic number 5.
Yeah, I
What do
have
you expect?
so I don't, just to clarify, I'm not really good about competition. I do not know Monday that much. I don't know ClickUp that much. We obviously tested the tools, but we don't use them every day. But I hear things here and there. And for example, yesterday someone contacted me saying we leaving ClickUp to go to Asana, and I said, okay, what's happening? And that person said the latest ClickUp release, I think it's ClickUp 3.0, is catastrophic. It just doesn't work well. Lots of bugs, just doesn't work well. And it's not the first time people tell me about ClickUp releasing a lot of shiny stuff, but actually not working in the background. So I do have a feeling that something's going to happen. It's not really a prediction; it's a feeling that maybe they're going to disappear from the landscape, and it's starting to happen because we don't hear about ClickUp that much anymore. We hear about Monday. We never hear about Trello anymore. We see Notion becoming really strong, and they are starting to release project management related features. But we know that Asana is also releasing a few things that look like Notion. I can't say anything obviously, but they are also starting to emerge on the note-taking space. So yeah, something's going to happen. Some people were telling me that also people were leaving Monday, like massively leaving Monday.com. I don't have any official confirmation, but yeah, just a tickling feeling.
Yeah, I think that there are two approaches to this competition issue. The very first one is in terms of features. I agree that there will be major overlaps of features. So Notion will do some things to look more like Asana, and Asana will do more things to look more like Notion. Or so these important features, we will see them in every platform. I foresee. And then on the other hand, the corporate strategy. I think that we might see some acquisitions. I don't know if ClickUp or any other of these tools, but I think that there will be a consolidation
Yeah,
of this type of tools. Now I see. I used to see Jira as a super strong player, especially in IT and technology teams. Now there's Linear, awesome product. So I think that there will be on one side overlapping of features, on the other hand, um, merging, acquisitions, and consolidation of the industry. Um, we will see how this affects Asana.
definitely.
Okay,
Number
the
six.
use number six, use of Asana in non-traditional industries, healthcare, education.
Yeah, this is something we see more and more. So basically, as the work management topic is being spread, we also see like completely random companies started using Asana because literally anybody could use Asana. Every time you need an Excel to list things to do, you could use Asana. And and probably it's probably the case with yourself as well. We do have clients from all the industries, healthcare, marketing, obviously, even some IT people, they turn to Asana to be able to have the same tool the marketing teams are using. Because Jira just doesn't work with anybody else than IT. It just doesn't. So we're really seeing that tool being used by lots of different um, teams. And yesterday I was talking with a client. They are actually holding of four different companies and they want the same tool everywhere. So they're going to equip the HR team, the marketing team, the IT team. Everybody's going to have the same tool. Those people know that you probably have a better alternative for each one of those industries, but Asana is going to be ideal if you really want people to collaborate. So this is also something that we're going to see, the spread of Asana in non-traditional industries.
Yeah, I think that from a marketing and branding perspective, this is something that Asana has to improve their work, their message. Because I don't know if it happens to you, but this is one of the typical questions with a potential client. Is Asana only for IT industry companies, or and it's no. Asana is a work management tool. It's to work smarter. You manage teams, tasks, projects. If your business is about handling work and who has to do it, when has to be done, then Asana is for you. And it's neutral. It's not specially customized for an industry, or even it's not for a specific size of team. Asana can work with a 2 people team or 100,000 people team.
And actually, I'm looking at the Monday website because I remember that they are doing quite a good job with this. When you go on monday.com, you can pick a vertical. You can pick operations, marketing, HR, task management. And depending on what you pick, then the website's going to change and it's going to they're going to showcase specific clients. When Asana has been very generic, I think, for quite a long time. So I don't know if they're going to look at verticals like Monday does. But yeah, I agree with you. That's why Monday is also so appealing to people. They go there and they feel like it's an HR tool, because I look at Monday for HR, there's a dedicated page. So that must be perfect for HR. And Monday does a really good job promoting Monday for everything and make you feel like it's perfect, even though it has lots of limitations as well.
I
Especially
agree. I agree.
in terms of pricing. I've talked to people that realize that Monday is actually quite expensive when you put the different blocks that you need in terms of feature.
Yeah,
Asana is
hidden
very
cost.
transparent. You don't know it hidden cost with Asana, which you do with which you do have with Monday.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, and for instance, when you have this CRM conversation, it's like, hey, can I use Asana as a CRM? Yeah, of course you can. Here's a video. You can see that. Okay, Monday, for instance, they have like the Monday CRM module, and it's like, well, it's out of the box. Well, it's not exactly that way. Point number 7, Asana community. I agree that the more the community grows, the easier is to find champions that spread the word, that like plant their seed in their organization. Many companies approach us like, yeah, we have this guy that joined the company and he was using Asana on his personal projects, and now we want to explore. And it's like these are the seed users, and having this community growing, um, I think it's
Yeah,
good for the brand, for the product, everything.
the forum especially has been growing quite fast, and I think they reached 500K members. And you joined the forum leaders, I think, this
Yeah,
week.
finally. It's an
Congratulations.
accolade. Now I'm in this selected use group of users, and I'm super happy. This is one of these things that I wanted to share with my family, my friends. They see no value at all, but it's the value that I see myself. So
Yeah,
super happy to be.
people usually don't understand, because we spend time helping people for free on the forum. But it's actually very interesting for us because it improves our reputation. And every week we have people contacting us because they saw us on the forum. And it's also very good to stay on top of the problems people see and stay on top of the different use cases and issues that people encounter in the tool. But it's a lot of work, man.
I totally agree. It's super rewarding. Helping someone, it's the best currency in the world. Also helps you be on top of usual problems, to train yourself as support, or it's all good. And from a business perspective, as you said, building yourself a reputation in the forum, in the community, helps bring new business on board. So it's a win-win-win situation. Number 8, last but not least, sustainability, social impact. What's your
Yes.
prediction on this?
So it's a twofold prediction. So the first one is that Asana is going to include more and more features around social impact and sustainability. That means probably, and again, that's a guess, probably a lot more features around workload, holidays, PTOs, the ability to release some work from someone and delegate to someone else, distribute the work, potentially with the help of AI to make sure that nobody's overwhelmed. So all of that will probably be embedded into the tool. The second fold is that For a long time, Asana's vision has been around trust and transparency. So people collaborate transparently, people can access anything, they can update anything. And this has gone against the traditional enterprise vision, which is about locking things down, security, visibility, which Asana initially did not have. And we see when we talk to very big enterprise clients, they don't always get that vision. They don't want transparency. They want to be able to lock things down. They want to be able to track what people do. They want to be able to audit the changes that were made. So we're going to see Asana release new features towards that market segment. But at the same time, we're going to wait and see if they can stay true to the vision that they had and still be a very open, collaborative environment. That's going to be a very hard thing to do, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I wish they stay true to their values. I think we've discussed about this topic in previous episodes. The conversation that you have with your clients, saying, "Well, Asana is transparent, is based on trust. Look, you can mark as completed the task that was assigned to someone else. There's a lot of information, and you can track everything that's been done, but it's super flexible." And I agree that as Asana is leaning to a more corporate environment, more restriction based features will need to be applied. I don't know, probably new user roles or new ways to lock some of these transparency and flexibility features. Um, my wish is that it stays true to their values. I mean, I maybe I'm a bit naive, but I would love that big corporations lean into Asana vision, so empowering their employees, empowering, trusting their workforce, instead of making Asana at rigid and strict and I would say opaque features that go against their foundational values. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I'd love that they stay true to their values.
We'll see. So that was prediction number 8. Did I miss anything? Do you think of anything else?
Uh,
It's pretty hard, isn't
well,
it?
yeah. I think it will be very important to understand how the macroeconomy affects Asana growth. Obviously, if there's a soft landing of the economy, we will not see companies cutting budget and reducing the amount of seats they need. If there's a hard landing, um, the product might be great, but corporations will have layoffs and reduce the amount of seats. Probably in Europe, and especially in our region, mm, this is a bit different because Asana still has a lot of growth to catch. There's a lot of market share to catch, but let's say that if the economy starts mm, growing again and we don't see a long period of recession, actually the UK and probably Germany will go into recession, but well, basically it's how the macroeconomic situation will impact the growth in, especially in this corporate tier of customers. It's something that I check every day because if these big corporations have a lot of layoffs, this will have a negative impact in the bottom line of the numbers and also in the product. At the end of the day, you need financial power to feed your product team and to release new features and to improve the current features. So let's see if the economy is good enough to let Asana grow.
And what about the Asana plans? So now we have starter, advanced, enterprise, enterprise plus. How do you think Asana is going to balance the new features between the different plans? Do you think everything will go towards enterprise? Do you think they will still improve starter? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, I think that with the restrictions in terms of rules and portfolios, that there will be like two different sections: the starter and free, and enterprise. Advanced will be like only a step to
Mm,
enterprise, but to make enterprise valuable for corporations, I think that they need to release features that are valuable not for administrators, but for regular users. A lot of features in enterprise only affect administrators. And the question is always, can I have like 3 enterprise licenses for our team admins and the rest can be advanced? Because most of the clients don't see the value. So
true.
if the new features impact regular users, definitely it will be like a split. Or the organizations that use intensively Asana will go to enterprise or enterprise plus, and starter or low usage organizations will be starter tiers. Advanced will be like only a step to go to enterprise.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. Thank you.
Excellent. Let's call this an episode. Let's wrap it up. Bastien, as always, a big pleasure. For our listeners, if you want to learn more about Bastien or myself, you have the links below. Don't forget to like, subscribe this episode. This helps out to spread the word on YouTube. Now you can also listen to Peak Productivity. You can subscribe to the podcast on YouTube right now, and probably in the future also Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcast. And thank you.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.